Hello, John Bloodworth Gentleman Crafter here. Now the other week I showed you how to create this Bless This House design. This week I'd like to show how easy it is to take one of the elements that I put into this design, move it over to another and create a whole fresh new layout. So the simplest way is to select the object that I want to take over, copy, open my new document and paste. And there it is in the new document. Now there's a couple of things that I want to do with this before I move on, and that's basically to take it out of the red work and the branching. So to do that, I go into my Edit Objects toolbox, click on Break Apart. Now it's taken away the red work styling, but it's still grouped together as a branched object. So I'm going to break that apart again. Now you can see it's made up of lots of individual elements. I don't want to keep all of those elements, so I'm going to select and delete everything that I don't want. So I just want to create this design here. So the next thing that I will do is select it all again and reinstate the branching. I don't want the red work this time, just the branching. So to confirm the entry and exit point, just press Enter and Enter again. And now we can see it's back as a branched object. And we can confirm how that will stitch out by running it through the player. So it starts with the big spiral, comes down that arm, backtracks. Okay, that's good. Works for me. Now then, so stop. Now the next thing that I want to do is actually create a fill for this, but because it's not a closed object, I can't do that. So I'm going to lock this in place, and then from my Digitize toolbox, I'm going to choose Digitize Closed Shape. Set it to Fill, set the stitch type to Tatami, and I'll choose a different colour, just so that we know what we're going to end up with, and stitch pattern 1. Now what I'll do is start using the right click, left click method of digitizing. So left click for a straight point, right click for a curved point. And I'm basically trying to keep it within the center of that stitching. Now of course with a fill stitch you will likely get, oops, I've gone wrong. So I can just backspace up to the point where I felt I went wrong and then continue from there. So I was saying yes, left click for a straight point, right click for a curved point, and I'm just trying to keep central on this stitching. Now obviously with a fill stitch you will have some pull, so we may have to deal with a bit of that later, but for now I'm just kind of trying to keep it roughly in the middle. And then when I get to the end, press Enter twice to confirm. Now for the fill, I am just going to actually change a couple of bits here. Pull this along. Okay, I think that should do. What was it doing? Oh yes. So for the fill, I actually wanted it to have some kind of direction. So in the Effects tab, I'm going to select Radial Fill. Now you can see how Radial Fill generally has a hole in the middle. If I go into Reshape mode and move that hole outside of the fill, I still get the directional stitching, but I don't get the hole, which I thought was kind of a cunning little cheat. Now I shall move those up the stack so the decorative stitching is on top. And what also do I need to do? Actually, I'm going to duplicate this, so Control D, and I'm going to set that to outline, and I'm going to send it to the top. So hopefully this will basically give me some kind of pull compensation, as in it'll lock the fibres of the fabric in place before the fill stitch happens. I'm going to unlock this one, and then I can select everything and group it. Now if I zoom out a little, I can maneuver this into position, and I want it to be sort of towards the edge of the design, and I'm going to rotate it. I think I'll go this direction, 45 degrees shall we say. And then next up, to create the radial design, obviously I'm going to use the circle layout option from the Create Layouts toolbox. So if I take that starting point to the center of the hoop, that's a bit far away, so I'll just try a little bit closer. There, I think. And then a single click, and I've got all the repetitions that I need to go around the design. Now I can Control A to select them all and then resize that so that it's a bit bigger. Now I have some jump stitching going on in here. So let's ungroup everything. Let's select all of these solid fills. Then let's select all of the decorative stitching. Move that down, all the way down in fact. And then with all of these outlines, I'm going to apply the branching to those as well. Not entirely sure it's going to fix this jump stitching, but I think it might help at least with those. So for these, what I'm going to do is basically go into the reshaping, find the in and out points and move those so that they jump over. So which one was that? 2, 3. Reshape. Oops. I managed to get the node there instead. Select 4 next. Not currently doing what I want. So the in and out point is there in fact. So let's select that one again. Okay. That's not making a difference. Let's see if we can branch it. Yes. Okay. So branching helped us basically get rid of all of those random jump stitches and tag stitches and basically do it in a sequence that should be very good for us. Okay. So the computer and the software has worked out how to do all the outlines, do all the fills, without there being any jump stitches or any trailing stitches from shape to shape. which is perfect. Now, oops, where am I going? Now I could do some text in the middle, shall I? Let's just do a little bit of text, see what we can get in there. Oh, maybe a monogram lettering. Monogram lettering? Yeah. Let's do a 3-letter word. Joy. Let's apply some lettering art. Okay. That could work. That one. I think we'll stick with that. Let's group these before I do the next thing, which is to select everything and then align them. Align centers. Now with my hoop, if I go back to automatic centering, that will position the design right in the center of the hoop as well. So basically the software has done so much for me here. I quite like this red outline thing, so I'm going to put the red outline around the word if I can. So I would come over to the create layouts, create outlines. Let's do a triple run around those. Let's see if that is any good. Yes, that works. Okay, so we've got that, and that. Seems reasonable, so I would save that design now and head over to the machine and obviously export it as a PES file from my brother my brother embroidery machine, and then I would stitch it out. So I will see you in a short tick where I'll show you how that looked when it finished stitching. And so here's the finished result. I'm quite impressed, I like the idea, and I chose to use a variegated thread as well for a bit more interest. Okay, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe before you go today.